She let her family disrespect him for a decade. He filed the papers on a Monday morning. Part 2 of 4. The dynamic with Camille was the part that cost Nathan the most sleep, not the family. He had developed, over time, a protective distance from the Whitfields that functioned like callus, the way skin toughens in response to repeated friction. What he could not develop distance from was his wife's consistent, quiet, almost unconscious choice to let it happen. Camille loved Nathan. He did not doubt that. But she loved her family's approval more, which meant that in every moment where she could have stood between Nathan and her family's dismissal, she found a reason to step aside. She called it keeping the peace. Nathan called it something else, though not out loud and not to her, because he was still absorbing. There was a dinner in the 3rd year of their marriage that Nathan returned to repeatedly in his mind. Reginald had made a comment about a project restructuring Nathan was proud of. His own manager had praised it, and Reginald said, with easy authority, "That's a risky approach. You do better to follow proven methods." Nathan explained calmly and with specific data why the approach was sound. Reginald smiled the smile of a man who has stopped listening and said, "Well, we'll see." And Camille, sitting beside Nathan, said nothing, looked at her plate, changed the subject. Nathan drove home that night in a silence that Camille either did not notice or chose not to address. He sat in the parking garage of their apartment building for 11 minutes after she went inside. He was not angry. He was calculating. He was reading the structure, and this time he was not looking away from what he found. The requests escalated in the 4th year. Brendan's lifestyle brand needed a financial restructuring, and Reginald asked Nathan at a family brunch, with the casualness of a man who does not consider asking a request so much as an assignment, to look it over. Nathan spent 40 hours over 3 weekends producing a 30-page analysis that identified the core problems and mapped a specific recovery strategy. He presented it to Brendan on a Sunday afternoon. Brendan read the executive summary, said, "I'll have someone look at this," and sat on the coffee table. Nobody followed up. The analysis was never mentioned again. That same year, Dolores asked, through Camille, whether Nathan would manage the renovation of the guest wing of the Whitfield estate. Not hire a contractor, manage it himself on weekends using his industry contacts. For rooms, new electrical, new plumbing, full cosmetic overhaul. Nathan looked at the request for a long time. Then he looked at his wife. Camille said it would mean a lot to them. Nathan said yes. He spent 7 months and 31 weekends on that renovation. The work was exceptional. When it was done, Dolores hosted a dinner party to show off the renovated wing and told her guests it had been handled by a contractor friend of the family. Nathan was at the dinner. He was not introduced. If you've ever given your absolute best to people who refuse to see it, type "enough" in the comments right now. And if you're not subscribed yet, I need you to understand something. People who watch and don't subscribe are doing the same thing the Whitfield family did to Nathan. They take and they don't acknowledge. Don't be that person. Hit subscribe. The conversation that ended everything happened on a Thursday evening in October in the 7th year of their marriage. Nathan had been passed over for a senior project manager position at his firm. He came home and told Camille. She listened. Then she said, and he would remember the exact words for the rest of his life, "Maybe this is a sign that you should think about whether construction is really the right path for you. Daddy always says there's room at the company for someone reliable." Someone reliable, not someone talented. Not the man whose 30-page analysis had been set on a coffee table and never mentioned again. Someone reliable. A function. A resource. Nathan was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "Camille, do you think your family respects me?" She said, "Of course they do. They just show it differently." He said, "How do they show it?" She could not answer. She looked at the wall, and she could not answer, and they both understood what that meant. He did not file for divorce that night. He was not impulsive. He was a man who read structures and planned carefully and executed precisely. He went to work the next morning. He started making calls. He had been in the construction industry for 7 years, and he knew people. He had ideas he had been sitting on for 2 years. He had looked at the right moment for long enough. It was time to build something. Stay with me, because in the next part, Nathan stops absorbing and starts building. And what he builds is going to change everything. Subscribe if you haven't. You do not want to miss this.